it's not just important to know what you need to know, you should also have some sense of what you don't need to know. Because there are a whole set of question types in which knowing what you don't need to know is incredibly important. It's incredibly important. A good example would be, there's one question where, so we obviously aren't there yet, but just to sort of illustrate what I'm talking about, what's the area of a hexagon? When like all the sides are 6, right? And it says like, what's the area of this hexagon? And I think the automatic response of most people is, I don't know the area of a hexagon. Like, what's the formula for the area of a hexagon, right? And you start worrying about it, and you're trying to remember, and you're really stressing about it. Well, it's very helpful, actually, to know that on the test, you need to know the area of quadrilaterals, you need to know the areas for triangles, and you need to know the area for circles. You don't need to know anything else. There's nothing else on the test. Like I said, everything is in the book. There's nothing else on the test. Well, knowing this tells you, again, the question's telling you, what are you going to do? You need to figure out a way to decompose this into those elemental pieces. Does that make sense? And knowing that you don't have to know the formula for this will stop you from sitting there trying to remember some formula that you're not going to know, and immediately tell you, oh, my task is very clear here. The question is telling me I need to figure out some sort of strategy for breaking this up into elemental pieces. In fact, there's 2 solutions to this problem. One is you can break it into 6 triangles. Those are all equilateral triangles. The other solution is you can turn this big piece into a rectangle and break this into 2 right triangles, and these end up being special triangles. Does that make sense? The strategy for solving it comes from knowing that this is all you know and all you need to know. Does that make sense? Again, notice I keep illustrating all these examples of like, listen to the questions. I'm telling you stuff. You need to know the material, but you really need to sort of get in the head of the GRE. It's going to get in your head at first, but you need to sort of get in their head. You're like, oh, cool, I see what you're doing here. And again, I think that's a much more, sorry. I think that that's really nice because it's a really clear, it gives you like a clear sort of task, right? It very clearly defines the task. Rather than having this sort of nebulous like, oh, do I have to know the area? Like, what do I do? It's very clear, like, no, very specific, decompose into those pieces. You know that that's all you need to know. Does that make sense?